Yes, you know what time it is. Another Flow with Tarot segment. So let's just jump right in. Let's see what card that we're going to flow with today. So let's see here. Oh, if you're new here, I am Tamara Tamu. This is Magic in Motion. All right. On this channel, I teach you and inspire you to infuse magic in your travel, in your everyday life, because that is where the magic is. We often look for these grandiose experiences. Well, honey, your entire life is grandiose. That is the magic right there. Okay, so let's get into it. So, we have done went through 10 cards at this point. This is going to be our 11th one. And we have the Page of Cups. All right, Page of Cups. So, what do I feel about the Page of Cups? What do you feel about the Page of Cups? Well, if we look at what cups, the suit is, it is indicative of water. When I think of water, I automatically think of flow. Okay. So we have the cups, which is representative. Is that the word that I want to use? It's symbolic of water. Okay. So, water, again, when I think of water, I think of flow. Okay. Also, I also think of resistance. So, automatically, right now with this card, I feel like it is showing us, or perhaps showing me, to not only look at where I am allowing things to be. And this is not settling. It's not the same thing as settling. Allowing things to be is not the same as settling. All right. So I want to make that clear. Where am I allowing things to flow? And then where am I resisting? It's important to look at both because in the previous video, at the top of the previous video, I first started talking about how each card has a, I hate to say light and dark. I hate using that because I feel like that's some new age bullshit, but it has its ups. Each card has its ups. Each card has its downs, so to speak. That's not any better. But it's very important for us to not label any card as quote good or quote bad because each card has its duality. Geez, it took me 3 minutes to come up with the word duality. Each card has its duality, okay? So yes, water is flow. Water um, represents refreshing, renewal, cleansing. But then, even though you're in flow, look at where you are perhaps resisting something as well. So you see the duality in that you have to look at both sides. So I feel like this card right now reminds us to look to see, to just observe, not to judge where in our life we may be resisting something. Doesn't matter what that something is. And then when you observe where you are resisting, then you ask yourself, well, why? Ask your spirit, why am I resisting this? Where is this resistance coming from? Is this resistance mine? Is this resistance coming up based on where I'm at right now? Based on this new identity that I'm embracing now? Or is this resistance coming up from past things, past stuff, past emotions? Perhaps that resistance is a guidepost for you to that your energy is still latching on to something that is trying to hold you in some type of old pattern. Because again, tarot reveals patterns, okay? Emotional patterns, energetic patterns, behavioral patterns. Tarot is not to predict the future, it allows you to uncover patterns, okay? So that resistance is a guidepost for you to see where you're resisting and why. And when you find out why, then that also leads you to the solution. It also leads you to what you can do about it in that moment, or perhaps there's some other guidance that's going to come to you later on. Perhaps you need to just sit with that resistance for a moment, maybe not take action on it at all at the moment. And instead, you just flow with it and through it. Also, I am getting escapism. So sometimes what will happen is that we can trick ourselves to 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 think that we're flowing along with something when really we are resisting. We're resisting with our thoughts. We're resisting in what we say, what we allow ourselves to say. We're resisting with our actions because we're trying to, instead of facing the resistance, we're trying to escape our way out of the resistance. We're trying to run from the resistance, but you face it. Resistance, again, is not a quote bad thing. Any resistance that you're feeling toward anything, that is a guidepost. Perhaps that is your spirit to tell you to pay attention to this. Maybe you've asked a question on, okay, well, can I where can I take action? Where do I need to make a change? And that resistance is showing you where you can make that change. And because resistance can feel uncomfortable, sometimes you you can be so close to something where you can be resisting it, and you don't necessarily have the words to say what emotion that is. And that resistance, and you don't realize that that resistance can actually work for you and tell you where you need to focus your attention. The re, the question that you've been asking, okay, what do I do? What's my next step? The answer is in the resistance. All right. So that is what I'm feeling right now with the Page of Cups. And I love this card. And I know I said, not to put a label on a card or just observe it and not, um, call it good or bad. And I'm not calling it good, I'm not calling it bad. I love this card anyway because it is, to me, it is the perfect example of the nature of water, which is the nature of us because our bodies are mostly water. So this this card can challenge us to look at even the aspects of us that we would deem acceptable, and then the aspects of us that we are resisting. So then there's another layer to that as well. This card reminds us to accept all of us, every single segment of us, so that we can bring our fullest expression to everything. We were not meant to be in this body to live this life being segmented, women being segmented in what we do. We were meant to bring all of our expression into everything that we do. We've been programmed to think, oh, well, you bring only this certain aspect to this environment. Then you leave that aspect on the shelf. You pretend like it's not there because now you move into this environment with another aspect of you. No, we were meant to bring all of us, all of me, all of you. You were designed to bring all of you to everything that you do so that you can live life in your fullest expression. A lot of times, many of us, many of you will say, well, I'm looking around in my life, things are going good, but I still feel unfulfilled. And I'm going to tell you that 9 times out of 10, that feeling of being unfulfilled, it's because you're still trying to segment yourself. Instead of bringing all of you in your fullest expression to everything that you do, you're still trying to separate yourself out. And that's not how we were designed to live. So, also, the Page of Cups reminds us to bring all of ourselves, to have that's balance. With duality, there is balance. Balance comes when you learn to express all of you. When you learn to accept, you have to accept all of you first before you can express all of you. Okay? And if you find yourself in environments where you can't bring all of you to the environment, then you need to change your environment. I don't care if that's the house, a career, a business, a job, wherever the environment is, you probably need to change your environment. Like literally, physically move yourself out of that environment. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts about the Page of Cups. Again, I forgot to say this. The when as we're going through this segment through all of these cards, we're going through all 78 of them, okay? And we have now 67, no, yes, 67 left, okay? So we're going through each and every card. We're going to do this. This is not necessarily a reading, all right? We're just going through, again, I'm taking you through my process of how I connect with a new deck of cards, all right? And how I just look at the card, talk about it, all right? So that's what we're doing. This is, again, this is not a reading. It's not a reading. But if you happen to get something from it, take it, apply it to your life, apply it to your magic, apply it to your rituals, apply it to your spells. All right. So leave me a comment. Let me know how you are enjoying this segment. I'm having fun with it. I hope that you are too. Until next time, stay magical.